ImmunityBio is trading at $7.17, and they've just received United Arab Emirates, so UAE, marketing authorization for Anktiva across BCG unresponsive, non-muscular invasive bladder cancer for carcinoma in situ and papillary disease. They also received this marketing authorization for metastatic non-small cell lung cancer too. And so the real story here is that the United Arab Emirates have actually just delivered or undertaken the broadest approval of Anktiva of all countries in the world. The Emirates Drug Establishment, the EDE of the United Arab Emirates, granted marketing authorization for 2 Anktiva presentations, the broadest approval to date for Anktiva, including papillary disease and carcinoma in situ in non-muscular invasive bladder cancer, as well as non-small cell lung cancer. ImmunityBio have also confirmed that the UAE authorization is the first worldwide to span the full spectrum of these diseases. And so naturally this means that more patients are eligible to use Anktiva, and it provides further regulatory validation for the therapy too. In the MENA region, we can see that Saudi Arabia has become ImmunityBio's first commercial success. They've entered the market there, they've got the infrastructure to start the distribution of Anktiva, while the UAE have just granted the marketing authorization. We also have Egypt, Qatar and Lebanon representing potential future opportunities. And this is really exciting simply because we can almost see what the strategy would potentially look like over the next few years or so, with the company building their presence in the MENA region. And so one of the major things to consider if you're a shareholder obviously is that the expansion strategy doesn't just cover the MENA region, but they're attacking a number of different regions or territories across the world. Anktiva is positioned in the US, albeit with one approval at the moment for adult patients with BCG unresponsive NMIBC with carcinoma in situ, with or without papillary. They've already reported impressive sales results so far, with the unit growth of 168% increase in Q1 2026 compared to Q1 2025, which we can see right here. But the next major opportunity in the US is around the supplemental BLA, and so ImmunityBio have confirmed that the US FDA have accepted this supplemental BLA for Anktiva for unresponsive non-muscular invasive bladder cancer with papillary disease. And we have this PDUFA date coming up set for January the 6th, 2027. And so this date of January 6th, 2027 is penciled in for a possible further approval of Anktiva for this new indication, which again in the US would open up the use of Anktiva to a wider patient population. We also have one approval for Anktiva in Macau, Special Administrative Region of China. The regulator grants approval of Anktiva in patients with BCG unresponsive non-muscular invasive bladder cancer. And so again, from a geographical standpoint, it's really important to recognize, Macau is a special administrative region right on the coast of China right here. The approval establishes Anktiva's initial presence in Asia and reflects the company's strategy to expand global access through reliance-based regulatory pathways. The company have confirmed they continue to engage with additional health authorities in the Asia-Pacific region as part of this international regulatory strategy and expansion into new territories as well. And so essentially what we have here is that we have ImmunityBio looking for low barrier entries in countries in this Asia-Pacific region where they can leverage the approvals from the FDA and the European Medicines Agency in order to enter some of these Asian countries. We also have one approval for Anktiva for a specific indication in the EU too. ImmunityBio receives authorization from the European Commission for Anktiva with BCG for non-muscular invasive bladder cancer carcinoma in situ. If we look at this map right here, we can see that the approval covers these territories right here. This marketing authorization enables commercial availability across 27 European Union member states, plus Iceland, Norway and Liechtenstein as well. ImmunityBio have laid the infrastructure and the groundwork to start the commercialization strategy. They have a partnership with Accord Healthcare, who will deploy a sales team across all of these countries. And ImmunityBio have also set up a Dublin-based subsidiary to support ImmunityBio's distribution and commercialization strategy in Europe too. And so when we look at the UAE approval of Anktiva in isolation, it probably doesn't seem that significant. But when we look at it and connect all the dots and start looking at the different maps, we start to see the global execution strategy for the commercialization of Anktiva. And we can see that these small incremental steps, whether that's in the MENA region, whether that's in Europe, whether that's in Asia and the US, gradually we can see this expansion strategy come to life in real time. On top of this expansion strategy, it's also worth looking at their pipeline. You know, the other part of this strategy for ImmunityBio is to get Anktiva approved for a number of different tumors, cancers, and infectious diseases. And so the expansion strategy is almost twofold, which again is just going to open up the opportunities for Anktiva moving forward. And so the next 3 to 5 years are hugely exciting if you're a shareholder. There's a huge opportunity here for growth and expansion across different countries and territories globally, but also across the pipeline too.